Okay, so these are the components you need. So it's the Kiox 300 unit. So you can open it. So it's the standard Kiox 300. Okay. What comes in here? Let's have a look. Just a couple of instructions. Come back to that. And this is the box. I got this from Certina in the UK. All in all, it cost me £50 for these. The actual unit was about, I think it was 90 or 100. So in here, there is these are two separate devices. So depending on how you want the Kiox to sit, if you want to sit it on your headstock, which is here, or if you want it on the front, depends on which unit you buy. You can either have front facing or rear facing plugs. So for me, I've gone for front facing plugs because I'm going to have them to come over the handlebar and go into the headstock. So yeah, display interface front plug, and so that's this one with the front plug. Part number is BDS3250. It's a slightly different part number for the rear facing plug. Okay, so there's that one, and then the bracket itself came in this box, I think. Yeah, this bracket is called the holder arm socket 31.8, and that's BDS 3620. Comes with a huge instruction book as well. And the two cables needed for this are a 400mm and a 1300mm. So the 400mm is BCH 3611 and BCH 3611 1300. So the only difference really is the final 400 or 1300, which is simply the length. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, so next thing what I do is flip the bike upside down and take that battery off. You can see I was in a really muddy ride the other day and it's just full of mud still, even though I've tried to jet wash it and try and get most of it off. It looked clean when it was stood up, but it's obviously still filthy. I'll flash a picture up of that in a moment. Okay, let's get that battery off. So firstly we need to get this bash guard off, which is an Allen key just here, and then this should give us access to the battery. Yeah, and mine was a bit stuck because of all that mud I had on it. I had to give it a gentle tap just to get it loose. And you'll be able to see, yeah, even inside, just full of mud. It was one heck of a ride the other day. Look at the state of this. Okay, but yeah, nothing like a good clean will help. Just as a side note, this is the latch that Tobias Post did from the Canyon group. It's been really good. Mine's not showing any signs of cracking, but because they fail on these two lugs, it's a poor design that the Canyon and Bosch, I believe, are both fixing. I think they've got a fix out now, but Tobias is 3D printed piece inside, and the M6 nut and washers, you know, ideal. It's gives you that peace of mind that your battery's not going to be rattling about. Okay, that's great. So I managed to give it a bit of a rub down. This we can work with it now. Try to blow away any loose stuff. Gives a bit of a fighting chance. Okay, so time to pull that battery out. You can see quite a bit of water got down there, didn't there? Let's give that a wipe down. It's don't really know a great deal about this battery. This is the PowerTube 750, so this was additional £200 when I bought it. I think it came with a 625 and it was £200 more for the 750. So yeah, I just opted for the slightly bigger battery. I think the 625 has like a spacer that makes the battery slightly shorter, so obviously it's got less cells in there. So if we have a look down the tube, you can see at the bottom, that's where the battery connects onto the pins. All looks good down there, which is good. I believe with this battery latch issue, when that battery is not held in properly, it can start to rattle about basically, and it can really ruin the battery and those terminals, those pins. Yes, it's really important you keep an eye on that battery. So next steps, let's take off this control unit here. So this undoes at the back and it hooks in like that. There's no obvious O-ring on here, which was surprising, but then I realised that this whole top is actually rubber anyway. You can just see it bends, so that's actually the seal itself. I assumed this was plastic, but it's not. It's actually rubber, and that's what gives us that seal. Okay, so on here we've got one cable that's plugged in. That's the cable we're going to replace. So if we imagine the cable that's in there now is redundant, and we're going to go from here where the new so muddy this bike. So from here where the new bracket's going to go and the Kiox is going to sit on top of this head tube here. This is going to be a 400mm cable to there, but then so basically from the controller to the Kiox, 400mm, and then we're going to have from the Kiox 1300 that runs down there to the motor. The mini remote is just Bluetooth, as we know. There's no changes at all there. To get access to the rubber where we need to run the cables, I'm just going to take the handlebars off. Actually, I think the best way would be to remove it here on this headstock bracket. So with the handlebars removed, we can remove these collars and then get access to this rubber. With this rubber, I've just pulled it out of needle nose pliers, and then when you look underneath, there's actually three, if I can get this in the light properly, there's three holes pre-drilled, so I'm just going to fire a drill through there, and that'll give me a place to put the original cable, which I'm assuming is the from, what is it? Oh, it's the dropper posts. So it's got the dropper post there, and it'll allow me to run those two new cables. I'm just going to fire a drill bit through there now. I was just having a look at the ends of these cables. So I've got the 400mm here. I don't know if I can get the end on there, and it focuses. So it has two indentations, two lugs. Will it focus? Hopefully you can get that focus. And then one side has a flat. But it's the same, both ends of the cable. Exactly the same, and the same on the 1300, so I don't think there's a way of getting it wrong, to be honest. So a bit further on now, I've took the whole fork out, undone a lot of these collars, and I've found the easiest way of doing this now is I've got the 1300 cable here, I've fed it through this hole, I've just brought it out here. Now what I'm going to do is, because this cable is going to get replaced, this is the original cable, I'm going to tape this new one to it, bit of insulation tape, and then I'm going to pull that, tip the bike upside down, I'm going to pull that through that channel, well I'm probably going to remove the channel slider, and then pull it through into position it where this one currently is. Tape those two together, so that this cable, here's the original one that went to that controller, and this long one is the other end of this. This is the 1300mm that I'm going to pull down the battery tube, and when I turn the bike upside down we'll hopefully be in the right position. Okay, now for the 400mm. 400mm cable's been pulled through. the way I did it, again, just fed it through there, and you can actually see the cable coming through, and then very delicately, long nose pliers, just managed to grab it and just pull it through like that. Okay, I'll just get all this connected up nice and neatly through these channels, back through the new rubber that's been drilled and will suit. So what I'm going to do, as I look at this now, this dropper post will be at the back, and then these two will be in the middle and in the front. The rubber will go back in, all the fork, push back up, all this back on line, and then the handlebars will go back on after the spacers. Okay, just trying to give a bit of a view of what it looks like. So once everything's pushed back in, you should have, just try and show it. So you should have the 3 cables in the new rubber you've done here. So you've got 2 cables on the seat dropper cable, and then at the back you've got your other 2, which I imagine is the rear derailleur and rear brake. Just follow that one, yeah. So that's the derailleur, and that's the rear brake, yeah, of course it is. Okay, yeah, so that's how it should look now. It's just a case of sliding in the fork, getting everything built up. Okay, so all this is built back up. You can see I've got the 2 cables sticking out here. They're coming out of the rubber nicely here. All this is tightened back up, wheels let straight. So I've just connected the 400mm to the controller here. It's actually, to make it really easy, there's a white mark on the controller and a white mark on the cable. I've just left myself, I don't know what's that, sort of 100mm sticking out, so I should loop over the cable nicely here. I can always tuck it back in if need be, but I've spun the handlebars left and right to make sure it doesn't pull on this cable. So yeah, let's put that in, tighten it up, and then we'll spin the bike, put it back on its upside down on its seat and handlebars, and then we can start to run that 1300mm cable. The bike's back upside down, and this is inside the tubes, inside the battery part of the frame. So as you can see, there's 2 channels with sort of aluminium, looks like spacers. Now I think that is that one. I think that cable is sort of on the middle on the left. I think that's the cable that needs to be pulled out. So I'm going to pull that whole left slide out now and see if when I pull that cable we end up pulling the new one through. Let's have a look. Now be in this position where we've ran our new cable. It was in this left side, you can sort of see it sticking out here. That's the new cable coming in, and then you can see how it's on the end of this tape here, and then this is the original cable that goes down there. So now I'm now going to feed the new cable down here, put the bike back on its wheels, and hopefully connect it back into the motor. Not sure what this box is called, but I assume it's some sort of speed controller, or this might be the limiter or something like that, I'm not too sure. But if I can get the camera shining it properly. So all I've done, this slots in here like this, and there's just a Kiox bolt there. So I've just undone that, slid this out of the rubber. That rubber comes out, but it's fine. And then if you look, there's a cable here which goes into the unit, and then this cable is our cable, our 1300mm, well, one that we're putting our 1300mm in. So you can see that by when I pull this, it pulls on these cables here. Okay, so now just having a look round, this is that cable. As I say, it goes up there. So if I pull that through, you can see our cable that we've pulled through is just shortening. Let's keep pulling it through here and we should see. There it is, that's our new cable. Okay, just had a bit of a pain there where didn't have enough cable at this end, by only by about 30-40 mil. So this channels, I had to pull them out again because it was holding the cable in tight. Just pull a little bit of cable through from the Kiox end, and then connect it to this end, and then put this back in. So that's done. Oh, looks fine inside there. So now it's a case of putting in the battery. Yeah, and just for info, this is the 3D printed piece that Tobias Post has done. As I say, this is the side that you see. If we can focus with the M6 nut with a washer, and then you can just about see the actual 3D printed bit, which allows the whole area to push on that battery rather than just causing loads of strain on these hinges. Okay, so battery's back in. I've got the bracket on here. I've added the I don't know what you call it, interface I think it's called. I've got both cables plugged in. There's a little bit of slack there. You know, I've checked it turns both ways, which is fine. So the battery's back in. I guess we better put the kiosk on and see what happens, I guess. Let's have a look. So it looks like, how's it going, this? Do you pull that down first? Let's have a look. Pull that down. Yeah, pull that down and push it on. Okay, let's turn it on. Oh, here we go. Performance line CX. Let's make sure we get English. How do I go down? That one? English. Is it touchscreen? That's not touchscreen. Down. Oh, here we go. So down, make sure we get English. And I guess it's that little button which I've not used before. Yeah, it is. E-bike locks. Better go and find my phone. Yeah, and it's just unlocked itself. Let's go onto the Flow app. Where's the Flow app? There it is. Oh, it's already saying 50% turbo mode. Let's knock it down a mode then. EMTB, that's 50%, yeah. Tour Plus, Eco mode. Use your kiosk. Oh, there we go. And this phone is connected. That's right, so use my Kiox as a key. So Kiox is connected. Set in a key. Something went wrong. Please make sure your bike is not charging. It's charged temporarily. It's not performing. Update is turned on. Okay. Update. Got to do an update. Okay, let's do that then first. Check for e-bike update. New update available. The download has already started. Check the progress. Send an update to e-bike. Oh, so it's going to take 20 minutes. Okay, we'll come back when that's ready, but all in all, it looks like it's been successful. Yep, still going. So it says a software update. Keep your bike still. See on my phone here, it's doing the update, and then yeah, it says it might turn on and off. I'll just check the progress then, see what that says. 15%. So okay, great. So it's all updated. Looks like we've got some new settings here. We've got display configuration. So we've got current screens. Change the order or edit screen. So distance, riding time, total distance. Okay. Range. E-bike battery, smartphone, that's quite good. How much power we're putting out, what the cadence is. Heart rate, I imagine that's only if you've got the Apple Watch. And then this is the miles or the kilometers that we've done. The average speed and max speed, that must be of the day, I guess. I imagine that's altitude where we're at, and then how much we've ascended, and the highest we've been. And then that's the navigation if you send. One of the reasons why I got this, really, this is to send routes via Komoot, I think. I think possibly I can get it off Strava. I can download a GPX file and upload it, hopefully. I'm going to have a try of doing that. So it seems to have gone alright. Well, nice one. Hope it helps you out.